Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be covering 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days season 3 episode 5. So with that being said, unfortunately this is going to be the last time I cover the 90 Day Fiance series for a couple of weeks. Because I'm gonna be on vacation. I'm going away for 3 weeks, so I will be back in October. So unfortunately, I won't be able to cover the episodes. If the series continues on, when I come back, I will start from that episode. I'll catch up, but I won't create videos. But I will start, if I come back, for example, to episode 7, I will start from episode 7 if that was the week that it aired. It's no sense for me to put out other videos. It's just because of my vacation, unfortunately, I won't have the means to record these episodes. Plus, I'm on vacation, so I want to have a good time. So with that being said, this episode was kind of meh. I felt like we didn't get much and everything was still building up, so I was kind of just like, that's it. So I hope that in the next episode they will start revealing stuff. So with that being said, let's start off with Rebecca and Zied. So they kind of continue with the same argument they had at the bar. Nothing got resolved, and I guess they eventually went home. They went home angry, and they were very mad at each other that they weren't talking, and the next day they were going to go and meet his parents. I don't think they solved their problem because she was just like, you can't be jealous, and he was just like, I know. And like, that was the end of the story. He got her some of his culture's clothes to wear to meet his parents because they are very conservative. Rebecca finds out that a couple of things that she doesn't, that Zied doesn't want her to tell his parents. For example, them living in one hotel room versus two, her having tattoos, and them drinking, which it sucks that you can't live your life, but like, those are his parents. They're in a different country. They're very conservative. It is what it is. For Rebecca, I don't know. I can't see Zied proposing to Rebecca. He doesn't come off as the romantic type, but you know, I could be wrong. But he just comes off very like, I love you, and that's it. Rebecca, you gotta leave him. He told you, he's going to be jealous, he's gonna be controlling and stuff like that, no matter if you're there in his country or you bring him to America. So, if you don't want the same thing that happened with your last marriage, you need to leave him. But, I know Rebecca's not going to, so my speech is falling on deaf ears, but you know, you can't say that I didn't warn you. Next we have Caesar and Maria. Really wasn't with anything with Caesar and Maria. Caesar is just hanging out in Mexico at this point, waiting to see if Maria's gonna arrive. She still hasn't contacted him, and he's totally fine with this. And then his idea of a romantic time is to bring edible underwear. I was just like, to me, like, that would be a turnoff, but I don't know, like, he thinks that's sexy. So he goes down to the pool, he's chilling, he meets a family, and he's telling them his story. And when they got to the point where he showed them the picture of Maria, they were like, oh, okay. And one of the guys pointed out that he's being catfished, and I guess Caesar got upset, like, oh, why did that guy have to say that? I'm like, Caesar, come on. Like, where is this girl? This is your woman of 5 years, and she couldn't find the time to pick up her phone once to say I'm on my way, or even acknowledge the pictures and stuff that you sent. She couldn't do any of that. Like, come on, Caesar, stop being dumb. Like, there's women in America that can use you for your money and time. Like, you don't really need to find somebody in the Ukraine. Delusional is not the word to describe it. Next we have Avery and Omar. Omar basically had to admit to Avery that there was no wedding planned. And at this point I'm on Avery's side as to like, this is not like she's asking for a big Moroccan wedding where they need to go to a banquet hall. She's literally asking like to go to almost the equivalent of going to the courthouse and just signing a marriage license. That's all she's looking for. And oh my god, look at those scratches on I scratched myself on my chest. And Omar couldn't do that. I understand that he is in another country. He was in Syria trying to facilitate this in Lebanon, but you also told her not to worry about anything. It's one thing if you're just like, well, you made me do everything and I was overwhelmed, but you told her not to worry about anything and she didn't. And then you're like, oh yeah, my bad, I forgot to, like, I'm like, what is wrong with you? So yeah, she was visibly upset and mad, and she told her mom, and her mom, surprisingly, was trying to help her, cheer her up and tell her that, okay, we're gonna go to the mosque and we're gonna ask around, see if we can find a sheikh to marry you guys. And surprisingly, it took one try. They went to a mosque. The sheikh was doing a celebration. He would be back on Monday, and signed, sealed, and delivered. They're getting married. And I think that Avery holding the secret against her mom, she should tell her mom, because like her mom is trying, at least trying to accept the relationship, trying to embrace Omar. Sorry. Come on, poops. So yeah, she's trying and stuff. So like, be honest with your mom and tell her that like you're planning on moving. I do like that they're finally, which I don't understand how people do this the last minute, finally have a serious conversation about Syria and the lifestyle and how they live. And Omar's worried about bringing her there and scaring her away, because it's not only a third world country, they're currently in a war. So it's one thing to be poor, but like we're poor and people are dying and people are fighting and stuff like this. And I don't know, maybe because she's young, she's not really thinking it through. I feel like even though she is Muslim, she still has a very hoity-toity mentality, where she's accustomed to running hot water whenever she turns on the tap. And for her not to have those luxuries, I don't know if it's something that she would be able to handle, but in the name of love, she's willing to stick it out. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So next we have Darcy and Tom. Darcy's still begging for dick, but she's doing it in a way where she is over complimenting situations and Tom. It's almost like he's the man of her dreams, he's the best man ever, he does all of this and that, and yeah, he brought her to go play cricket, but the part was boring. And Tom kind of told her, like, Darcy, I understand, like, okay, you like what I'm doing and stuff, but why are you going all and like above and beyond to compliment me on things that are not abnormal? Like, I took you out to a nice dinner and it's like, oh my god, this is the best food I've ever had in my whole life type of mentality. And Tom is feeling like he's feeling pressured of like he needs to live up to this like high standard, and he's not like that. So I don't know. And then Darcy's kind of like, oh no, I'm just not used to sometimes a guy that's treating me like a princess and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh my god, Darcy, you should be happy that he doesn't just want to sleep with you. I don't believe Tom was a playboy, or maybe Tom was a playboy 20 years ago. But every time I see him, I'm like, I think more and more that like, yeah, you catfish Darcy, because you seem very different. And even if he was a playboy, he doesn't have a playboy attitude, which is good, where he's not very douchey. But he's not as affectionate as Darcy wants. So the big plan for them was to go to, and I forget, the Grand something island, to go and have like a mini vacation within a vacation. But Darcy apparently needs what's her name, Tom, to go meet Stacy, her twin sister. And Stacy's currently heading to Albania to meet her man, and Darcy wants to change the plans and go to Albania to be almost like some kind of couples trip and stuff like that. And Tom doesn't even know if he feels that way for you. Tom likes you, but like, if Tom likes you like you like your coworker, where it's like, we're in the work setting, it's good, but I don't know how it would be like if we were outside of work, type of thing. But like, he's trying to figure this out and stuff. Right now, you're not doing well. But like, there's something in it that like he likes about you and stuff like that, which is cool. But I don't know. All of a sudden, you're gonna cancel your plans and go to Albania to go, like, I would have been pissed, because I'm just like, I better be getting refunds on shit, because I don't know, I feel like on this show a lot, people just double pay for shit because there's no type of refund and stuff that they're doing. I would have told Darcy, no, this is supposed to be about me and you. I'm not trying to meet your family members and their significant others and stuff like that, because that would mean that we're in a steady relationship, and I don't even know if I would consider you my girlfriend. Good luck with that, Darcy. Next, we have Timothy and Jennifer. Okay, so we have Timothy wanting to have sex. I didn't realize how much stuff he got for her. He got her a shit ton of stuff. Timothy comes across to me as, let's call him like, let's call him metrosexual. And he's more like a pretty boy type of thing, where instead of him doing something, he'll hire someone to go do something. I don't know how Jennifer didn't know that, but she didn't know that. She's used to dating a more manly man. Let's call him that. And I thought it was really weird when they went out for dinner and he was wearing like a full like 3-piece suit with like a tie. I was like, aren't you on vacation? Like, can you at least lose a tie? Open up a shirt with a crisp white dress shirt with some black slacks and some nice shoes would have worked, with like the 2 buttons unbuttoned, where you just kind of seem a little bit more relaxed, but you're still casual, you're still formal. But no, he looked totally dressed up. And Jennifer's realizing that he seems a little bit on the, I don't know, like preppy side versus the get down and dirty side. And she was okay with it. Like, she was like, okay, you know, maybe that's like who he is and stuff like that. She did call him a pussy, but I don't think you have to be a pussy. Like, I don't think getting your hands dirty makes you a man either. And I wouldn't say he's a pussy. He's a great businessman. He's taking care of himself. He's a good guy. So I wouldn't call him that. But he's just different than the other guy she dated. But like, look at this guy, look how this guy's treating you and your daughter. He's treating you guys good. So like, ooh, sorry. How can you be calling this man a pussy and stuff like that? Look what he's doing for you guys. Anyways, so Timothy's big plan is to have her stay the night with them, and maybe they could do sexual stuff. And so it was so cringy that I could tell you each move he was trying to do and what was his mindset. So like, for example, where he's just like, oh, I don't want the night to end so early, like, and I'm like, okay, there's one thing. He was just like, oh, well, now you can wear the pajamas that I got you and stuff like that. Here's two things. Oh, when he was just like, oh, come, let's come cuddle up and stuff like this. And his big, I don't know, plan or ploy was to do eye masks and stuff, and it turned into from a date to a girls' night. And it was just like, okay, and like, I can understand, okay, if your man likes to do that, blah blah blah, but like, not when you're expecting to get intimate and stuff like that, especially if you haven't kissed and you're telling me, oh, let's put on these eye masks, it'll make our eyes look good and stay younger. And I don't know, that would have been a turn off to me, because it's like, you couldn't even, like, we can't even get a kiss or anything. Like, everyone else is kissing each other. Like, even, I was very surprised when Ben and Akini were kissing. So like, come on, Tom, you can do better than that. She's a Latin woman who likes a lot of affection and stuff like that. So like, you would think it'd be a bit more easier to make a move on her, but I don't know. Anyways, we have Angela and Michael. So Angela finally makes it to Nigeria. Before she gets there, she packs all this Trump shit, because she's a big Trump supporter. Hooray for Michael, because Michael is an indirect Trump supporter as well. And oh, so before that, they do a 24-hour thing with Michael, and he meets up with his friends to tell him that, like, Angela's coming back. And then you find out that Michael hasn't been working, and I'm just like, oh my god, that is so common with these couples, like, and staying employed. Like, a lot of people are unemployed. For what reason? I don't know. So his friends are like, okay, like, why aren't you working? And then he was like, oh, Angela doesn't want me to work because she wants to know where I am all the time. Which I'm like, work is at least 8 hours a day. So if he has a job and you know he's at work, at least you have those 8 hours covered. And then after work is another story. But like, come on, he needs to be taking care of himself, because then how's he gonna take care of you? But Angela's sending him money, and I'm like, where is she getting this money from to be sending money to a grown man who is an able-bodied and can work? So anyways, we fast forward to Angela getting to Nigeria. It reminds me of like the first time they had met each other. Just sweat pits and everything. They seem very happy to meet each other. Angela keeps talking about how big Michael's got. He got a little belly now. He's a little bum now, and stuff like that. But they're so happy to see each other. Then I don't know what happened, but they're driving, and then something. I thought first it was like road rage, like someone cut him off, but it looked like someone pulled, like, to me, when I was speculating what it was, I thought literally his car is getting repoed or trying to get towed away, because I've started hearing noises and what he's gonna do and stuff like that. But I don't know what's gonna happen with that situation, because once again, they don't show anything. But that's really all with Angela and Michael. And then we have, last but not least, which I can't believe they showed everybody. You see, that's how I realized. I'm looking at how long I've been recording this video, and I'm like, wow, I've been recording so long and I still have couples. have to, they can't, I feel like they have to, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 couples per episode, because we got a little bit of everybody, but I feel like it wasn't enough. So to take out, like, interchange couples, I'd rather that. So yes, we have Benjamin and Akini. So Benjamin is going to what he first thought was his Airbnb, but then finds out that he has to stay with Akini's brother for the whole time, which I'm like, Akini, you know, like, people spend money on shit like that. Why wouldn't you say anything? At least there you could save a lot of money staying with your family. And you're springing this on him. So he has to win kind of her brother's approval in order. It's almost like a video game. You gotta start with the brother, you beat that level, and you go to the father. He's meeting everybody and their mama, their sister, the uncle, the friend, the in-laws, and it's like very, very overwhelming for anybody. So then Akini's like, oh, here's my gift I got for you. She got him like a bracelet of the Kenyan flag, and then she's like, okay, where's my gift? And then I was just like, cringy, where's the gift, Benjamin? And he didn't have time to get her gift, so I'm like, oh my god, these people. And he didn't have anything for her. So then it was so awkward, and everyone was just like, oh, okay. Which I guess, in their culture, I guess is very, very important. So he gets to see where he's staying. He will spend time with Akini on occasion when she comes over and visits. Michael has this like one-on-one talk with him about like, okay, and it was so funny when he's just like, is your wife alive? I'm like, they got divorced. It's not like he's a widow. And he's like, yeah, she's alive and everything, and it didn't work out. We couldn't save it. And then he was saying like, oh, that's going to be a kind of bad thing because it looks like you have no control of your household. Which I'm just like, maybe that's just how their culture goes. But I hope Akini is there for him and doesn't kind of just leave him out to fend for himself, because if she really loves him and she wants to make this work, they need to be in it together. And I think they need to have another serious conversation about his child, because I don't know, these people lack serious conversations and they just kind of say whatever to get by. And I think that his kid is gonna be there. His kid is not going anywhere, so that's something that she needs to see if she wants to do this. Anyways, yeah, so we'll see what happens with Benjamin and Akini. So with that being said, this is the end of my recaps for a couple weeks of 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days, Season 3, Episode 5. Let me know what you think about this episode, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
I'm just a dumb cunt, fucking sick and tired of it. Maybe I could front love, maybe I could buy a zip, maybe I get fucked up. Next time I could save some. Why it's gotta be like this? Why it's gotta be that way? Put it inside. Feel so rise up, banging on that loud.